This simple DIY scored me great points at home with my better half. It's a napkin holder, a simple DIY to add as an accessory to your dinner table. Let's show you how to make it. This DIY really is simple, and it's up to you what you want your final result to look like. I'm starting off with a 44 by 44 planed around piece of timber, and I'm going to cut off some pieces to create that box frame structure. So here's what I'm going to use. Some 44 by 44 planed around timber, a measuring device, a 30mm Forstner bit, a cordless drill, a Mitre box and saw, and a sander. The first thing we need to do is to cut these little box segments. I've chosen a depth of around about 28mm. It's entirely up to you what size you go for to suit your DIY. Let's clear all this clutter out the way and get started. Mark out each segment and cut through with a clean square cut. I'm making use of a Mitre box as it allows me to get a clean, square, straight cut. What I do like about this Mitre box is it has these little plugs which help lock and hold the piece of timber into place. Let's clamp it down to the bench. There's my first block. I'm going to cut another 5 more in the exact same way. All my pieces are cut. I now need to drill out the center hole using the 30mm Forstner bit. Before I start that, I need to ensure I get my center point on each piece. Check the width and then take half that measurement to ensure you get the center point. It's a good idea to move all the way around and double check to ensure you're not offset slightly. When drilling down, it's a good idea to put a scrap piece on top of your table so that you drill all the way into that scrap piece. That way you don't damage your table and you avoid that breakout on the underside of the piece of timber that you're cutting. When using your drill, try and ensure you keep your drills square and upright. You can make use of a drill press which will give you a perfect straight vertical cut. You'll see there is a sharp point on the front of the Forstner bit that acts as like a pilot guide to ensure that the drill bit doesn't start wandering around and goes all the way down through your mark. My 6 blocks are complete. I'm now going to sand that down to remove any sharp splinters and any burrs using my orbital sander. When it comes to that centerpiece, obviously you can't fit the sander inside there. So just make use of a piece of sandpaper. And now a handy hint, often when you try and tear this off, it always comes off in terrible chunks like that. Handy hint, just line it up on the edge of a table and then strike down and you get a perfect straight line tear. We'll roll that up and then that can go inside. There's the first one done. I'm going to carry on with the other 5. That's it. It's now time to decorate it. Now this is where your creative license gets to run wild. You can stain it, you can paint it, or you can even leave it in its natural state. The most important thing is that you do seal it afterwards. Sealing it with a clear lacquer will protect the wood, stop it from getting dirty, and if you've gone with a clear structure like this, it'll actually enhance that grain structure and really bring out those colors of the timber. I'm using spray paint. It's so much easier to use than a paintbrush. It dries quicker and there's no cleanup. Make use of the little attachment, easier to spray, and let's give it some coats. There you have it, the DIY is complete. Moment of truth. Slide that through. And we've got a perfect final result. This DIY couldn't be any easier. From this DIY guy over to you, most importantly, be amazing, enjoy the DIY, and love the therapy. If you enjoyed this clip, like it, share it. You can also subscribe to our Builders YouTube channel where there's a range of DIYs just like this, as well as product reviews.